Hi, welcome to Truth with Tal and Isaac. I'm Tal.
I'm Isaac.
Episode number 77 coming at you tonight. It's a big number. Good job. Thanks, fans.
Good job, everybody. Thanks for listening. Wouldn't be anywhere without you guys.
Lions. Same old Lions? Question mark. A bunch of NFL topics, and then the whole Ime Udoka Boston bad guy situation. Good episode coming at you.
We don't know that yet.
Oh, it's good. No, I know it's good.
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
Episode 77. The best 77 is Ray Bork now. In a few years, Luca.
Oh, it's probably Luca right now because
Yeah.
I don't really know much about Ray
Bork.
Bork. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know much about him.
So I know our fans were eagerly awaiting the results of the Greater Amherstburg Tennis League match with Kevin against the 11-year-old. We were in attendance. There was actually a lot of people there. It was cracked.
It was a good little meet. It was cracked. It was a
Yeah.
good meet and greet we had.
It was a good meet and greet. Anyway, Kevin got his butt kicked by the 11-year-old girl.
Respectfully,
He did. And he actually played pretty good. She just kicked his tail. And I think only about 5 or 6 more months before he stopped making fun of him. Does that sound about right?
No, I take the over on that.
Over on that? Okay.
Yeah, I bet the over.
Taking the over. Good. Good job, Kev. But better job, Mia.
Respectfully, yeah.
So Michigan had a real test on Saturday against Maryland. They showed a couple warts. Score was not that close. Michigan was up 2 scores. They kind of let them get a late touchdown late in the fourth quarter. JJ made some plays, but he was not super sharp. Defense, you watch more of this than I do. Not a lot of pressure on the QB. Missed some tackles.
No, it was a very scary game. I was a little scared just because like smart people are saying Maryland is good this year, actually. And although Michigan always kills Maryland, especially Harbaugh's Wolverines, I was a little nervous. And there's a stretch where I missed the first quarter or so, and I was just kind of getting updates, and my buddy was just kind of freaking out because Michigan did not look good. Front seven did not look good. And then eventually it was okay, Corum is just going to carry us to victory.
Corum was a beast. Corum is a beast.
We just got to mention him now. We had little JJ Heisman buzz. I think he's still in the running. I'd have to look at the odds. I think he's still in the running. As long as
Anytime
they're
you
that
have
high.
a quarterback that is undefeated and he gets some stats, then he's going to be a top 10.
It's the same as the MVP of the NBA, right? Best player on best team is often the MVP. Or something similar, especially for the NFL. Michigan pulled through. I am more nervous for this Saturday.
Yep.
Iowa's no offense. I think they have the number 1 defense in the nation, statistically speaking.
Really?
Yeah.
Whew, it's big.
So it's going to be tough. It's going to be a lot of field goals. Hopefully Moody steps up. Score 2 touchdowns and you're probably going to win, right? I think Iowa's offense is pretty awful.
Okay.
But it'll be a tight game. It's at noon, so tune in, folks.
Okay, that'll be exciting. Scott Harris is now running the Tigers, which is good.
We already talked about that.
No, but what's important is he has hired Sister Jean to throw batting practice to Javi Baez. Did you see that meme?
I saw the clip. Filled the people in.
So good. So Sister Jean is 103 years old. This is the sister that's tied to St. Mary's University or something?
Not St. Loyola, Chicago.
Okay.
I think.
Loyola, Chicago. Anyway, if you're an NCAA basketball fan, you know who she is. There's a great video of her throwing the first pitch out from her wheelchair.
Just at 103, just the other day, threw out the first pitch. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, I think she hit 18 miles an hour on the gun. And Javi Baez, they video clipped him in, and he swung and missed. It was 3 feet outside.
It was a good bit, and then everyone was like, Sister Jean Mary throwing the first pitch at 103, and then everyone's like, that didn't look like 103 miles per hour. The comments were pretty good. Javi Baez sucks. Tigers. No more Tigers suck. I've mentally completely moved on from them. I'm all in on Pistons, Lions, Michigan.
Pistons. Listen, we got to talk. There was a big trade.
Oh, the Bogdanović? We didn't even get to talk about it.
No, we actually talked about dropping an episode because there's 2 huge NBA things that happened last Thursday. Is that right?
I think it was Thursday or something. Yeah.
Anyway, Bojan Bogdanović, he's a good player. He's exactly what you want to play with Cade Cunningham.
He's good.
He's a stretch, but he can hammer it down too.
Yeah, he's like an 18, 19 points per game guy who can shoot 40% from 3 and play the 3-4. He's what every NBA contender wants, and that's why I'm shocked the Pistons landed him for nothing.
Well, I guess they didn't want to take on long-term salary, but I still don't understand it.
I love it for so many reasons.
At the end of this coming season, is he still a Piston?
Probably not.
I agree with you.
I would say he gets dealt at the deadline to a Miami or a
anybody
Lakers.
Who needs a wing.
Yeah, one of those teams that are kind of fringe. I don't want to say the Lakers are fringe contenders.
Need shooters because they have none.
You got to look at. I looked at the roster. Wow, that is it is so top heavy. Like, you look at the bottom 6 guys, you need to be a hardcore NBA guy to know who insert name here is. Like, it's unreal. But yeah, that aside, Bogdanović, I'm going to flip him for a first at the deadline. It's probably what's going to happen. Maybe a future first.
Down with
I
that.
love it. I love it.
Yep,
He's actually a good dude, I think. Like, I looked at some of his media day stuff. Happy to be in Detroit. Seems to kind of understand. He's just here to help out the young guys for the short term.
Listen, if they treat him well, and this organization seems to be as positive and as enjoyable to play with as you think, he's the guy who could come back in the future. Like, I know he's 33, but you need guys like that. He's like, in 2 years, he's your 8th man.
Where is he from? Do you remember?
Like
what country? Yeah. Do you know?
No.
Because he could Croatian, Slovenian?
He might be Bosnia-Herzegovina.
Yeah. Like, just get all those dudes. Like, speak good about the Pistons to those folks, right? No, I love it. I love the trade. He might be their second best player, right? Like,
I think he is their second best player.
And they got him for Kelly Olynyk and Saban Lee. RIP, both Saban and Kelly. Appreciate you guys. I actually like both of them. Like, it's not like I wanted them out. I liked Kelly. Kelly Olynyk, he was fine. Saban Lee
is your 16th guy. Yeah. Maybe your 15th guy.
I'm rooting for both those guys.
Kelly O is you're probably your 7th or 8th guy.
And you know Utah's just going to flip Kelly O for something now, too. Like 100%.
Exactly.
But yeah, good job, Pistons. Love the trade.
Okay. Do we want to talk about a doubleheader on Sunday? You want to save that for later?
You'd say that for the end. Just don't forget. Just don't forget.
I won't forget.
He's going to forget.
Chase for Roger Maris by Aaron Judge. Couple things. One.
Fine.
All he does is gets walks now. I think he was walked 4 times in the game last night. He's already been walked today.
Okay.
My question for you is, how did he do last time he pitched?
Oh, yeah. What's Judge's ERA? How many strikeouts does he have pitching?
Judge?
Yeah.
Well, when he was 12, he used to pitch.
What's the average that he gives up? What's his opponent average?
Yep.
I understand that.
I don't care what WAR says. Show he's more valuable to your team. He's one of the top 5 pitchers in the American League.
For sure.
Yeah.
Easily top 5.
I mean, you can debate like McClanahan and Uvalde and Verlander, but he's 4 or 5 or even 6. Call that a stretch. And he's in the top 5 hitters.
Yeah, I am on the Ohtani MVP train. Look, I get what Judge is doing is historic. The fact that Shohei Ohtani pitches and hits, like, Judge would need to be such a good hitter, like a Barry Bonds.
He's having a historic season, but he's not hitting 380 with 80 home runs and 180 RBIs.
I'm Team Shohei, but I kind of understand the Team Judge, right? Like, I get it.
He plays for New York, and
Triple Crown,
he's had a great year.
Go Shohei.
Okay. No more Pro Bowl. They're doing like flag football and other stuff.
Yeah, that was kind of like...
Quietly just kind of snuck it in. Like Sunday night or something.
I've been off the Pro Bowl for as long as I can remember. I think I watched it when I was like 9, and that was the last time I watched it.
Yep.
Okay.
Bonehead move of the week, or maybe the year. Kyrie gave up $100 million to not get vaccinated.
Plus. Because he said it was 4-year, $100 million.
Yeah.
I think he said plus. He's not a very smart guy. Kyrie was not... It would have been more. It for sure would have been more. That's what all the NBA guys think.
Okay. Do you have any good off-the-top stuff, or are you just leaning on me again for all the good material?
This is just an extended off-the-top, which is fine. Real quick, Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine. That's
big.
It's just a big deal for the genre, right? Like, he's been Wolverine for 20 years. It's just awesome. I'm really looking... Deadpool 3, like a buddy cop movie.
Do you want to talk about the terrible movie you saw, or is it... No.
Yeah, don't worry, darling. It's a trip. It's hilarious.
You went through it as an experiment just to relate to people in your English class? What's the deal?
No. Well, I went with some buddies because of the buzz it's getting. Buddies couldn't get tickets, so they saw a horror movie, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go see this with a bunch of randos. And I saw it. It was a little weird. It's a really bad movie, but it's very watchable. Like it's laughable at times. Where it's like, really? Like, did that just happen? Did they just have a 4-minute dance scene on stage? Yeah, that happened. It's awful. Moving on. So Hugh Jackman, love it. DeAndre Jordan. Media Day, his best Media Day quote. He's wearing number 6 to honor Bill Russell. The amount of comments were like, Bill Russell does not want you wearing number 6. I guarantee you that. Were just hilarious. Like, everyone said it was insulting.
Is he a bad dude?
No, but he's like terrible. Do you know where he is right now?
No.
Exactly. He's on Denver. No, I didn't know he was on Denver. I just think it's a little funny. And then Isaac's Ice Cold Picks. We forgot to do it last week, and I actually cashed my parlay. So we'll talk about that later if we have time. But it was a good bet.
Your picks or Isaac Oaks?
No, my picks.
Oh, good.
My game picks.
Oh, we were supposed to make that part of the show.
And I didn't do it last week, and I hit this weekend.
So that means you can't do it tonight.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Can I post about it on Sunday or no?
Yes, you can post about it on Sunday.
Okay, all right. If I...
Go on the Insta, people.
The Truth with T and I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every now and then you see pictures of me napping.
Well, I don't have a lot of I don't have a ton of media, so yeah, Slim Pickens. It's a lot of towel napping. Sorry.
Like, do we need better content than that? Like,
Well, our
Team
media,
Dalmatian
our
really
media
likes
guy
it.
is slacking. We're not paying them enough.
Who's our media guy?
I'm not sure.
Is it Dale?
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I have no
Could be
more
Evan.
off the tops.
Evan would be a solid media guy.
Evan would be good. Yes.
He could talk his way into anything.
Okay, and we'll get him in person on the show. He wants
We
to come in
do.
person.
Absolutely. We got to get him here in person.
Okay, Lions, go ahead.
Okay. Are these the same old lines as the question mark? I say no, only because they're in a good transition period. But for this year, they're going to be the same old lines in terms of their winning record, and they're going to give away some games at the end that they should have. So I just did my like when we did our predictions. I think we said I was going to have them win 7 games. You were going to have them win 8 games, maybe even 9. Does that sound right?
It was something like that. If you look at their schedule, there's a lot of winnable games, especially when you're
I
biased.
still looked at it 6, 7 tops.
I can buy. I can
And part of
totally
that is
buy into 7.
Right? Swift is dinged up. Amon-Ra, who's just a bulldog, is dinged up. They've got some offensive linemen.
This
that are
was
into
before
trouble.
their I don't know if the injury report is just like, oh, that's 13 of the best 16 players in the Lions are just on the injury report.
Yep.
And even though it's if you look at who practiced today, there's a lot of big names in practice. So the injury thing is tough, but every team's going through it.
We need to chat just about that loss on Sunday.
Yeah.
Sorry. So the 4th down call is going to haunt them. Like, we were watching it, and we're kind of like, I think punt.
We were both saying punt at the time.
We're saying punt. Go for it was second. Kicking the field goal, I don't even think that was on the table
No, that
for
was
us.
4th. 3rd would have just been take a delay of game and then
Punt to get in better field position.
Well, that was kind of what I a little not expected, but if I was on the sideline, that's probably what I'm doing. I'm taking a delay game. I'm putting out Jack Fox, and I'm.
It was
pinning
6 yards to go.
Was it 6? It was 4th and 6.
It was either 5 or
That was
6.
5. Either way, I would have punted. You would have punted. We're actually pretty good at during the game calling stuff. There's sometimes. Was it the Lions? There was a game where I was watching where it was like, okay, we're just going to run a quick slant there and really quickly, and the defenses just couldn't pick it up. It might have been against Lions, and we're like, we shouldn't be able to do this.
The fact that we were able to do it isn't a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we're smart, but I don't think we spent a lot of time playing football. Like your couple of years of Windsor Minor Football League. Although Coach D.
I learned a lot. And I learned a lot from Madden. That's actually like for real, like game managing. You can act like I understand it's a joke, but you have to use your timeouts. Like everyone was joking, like a 12-year-old who plays Madden is going to take Hackett's job, the Denver guy, because he can't call timeouts.
They hired an old guy to help him out.
Yeah, respect.
And I read something about the Lions probably should hire an old guy to help out.
And that brings me to a good point. Dan Campbell is young, just like these guys, just like the players are young. We give them a pass for being young. I'm going to give Dan Campbell a pass for being young. Right? It's his 2nd year.
He's rebuilding. I'm okay with this.
Right? The Penei Sewell is awesome, but he's developing still. He's 21 years old. Dan Campbell is young. He's going to develop.
Although he's already one of the highest ranked, if not the highest ranked right tackle in the league.
I've got that set. He is currently ranked the number 1 right tackle from Pro Football Focus. He turns 22 in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
He can barely drink in the States. And he's the best right tackle in football.
A couple of the points. 4th down hurt. Obviously, Swift dinged up hurts for explosiveness. Monte Brown is a dog.
Thank you. I just want to
love
say,
him.
Checking in on 3rd down, getting the 3rd down conversion, and then limping off to the sideline. I just love that. Limping / tired, injured players. Right? Like I think of. You know what I'm going to bring it back to? Jimmy Butler in the finals against Lakers, where he was hunched over mid-game because he hadn't sat, and then he just iced the free. That visual, I love that stuff just because it's Rocky, right? Amon-Ra getting through down, limping off on the sideline, sick. The Okudah buzz, we should touch on this.
Yeah, so I do have Okudah in my stock up stuff because, 3 months ago, it was not even sure if Okudah was going to be a starter for the Lions, one of the worst defensive teams in football.
Yes.
Now, his stats are good. Now, he's not locking guys up completely because he's got safety help.
Thank you.
You heard what DK Metcalf said?
And I look forward to that this weekend.
Yeah. Realistically, I think anybody throwing DK the ball is going to get some yards. I'm a little afraid Seattle's going to win.
Swift is out probably.
Yeah, Swift is out. Monroe's dinged up.
I hope Amon-Ra plays. If Amon-Ra doesn't play, I'll be really upset.
Oh, me too.
the Okuda, like you said, he's certainly better than what he was. People need to understand when you've got a safety behind you, it helps a lot. Doubling, shadowing, exactly what DK said. It's very simple. Goff is going to hold these guys back. When everybody in the stadium knows the Lions need to throw it, can Goff make that throw? And the answer is no.
No, it's some of the time he can.
Yeah.
Many of the times he can't.
Which is fine.
Yep, which is what we thought.
This is what we want, right? We want to win games. We want to improve.
We want to get better. We're getting guys that are getting better. Let me just finish the stock up thing because we obviously St. Brown stock is up. Penny stock's up.
Wow.
Okuda.
Some bold takes here.
Williams.
Jamal Williams, yeah.
Yeah. And what's the linebacker?
Rodrigo?
Yeah.
Yeah, stock up. What a bold take that you just got from Hard Knocks. That's great.
Yep.
Really good.
Listen, they're copying off me.
Okay.
They're listening. Stock down, obvious.
Who?
Oh.
Goff?
No, I didn't put Goff down because his stock's already pretty far down. Campbell, his stock dips a bit.
Okay.
Amani Owenwari.
Oh my god. I forgot to write him down. He had 6 penalties. Actually, I'm not joking. He had 6.
6?
Yeah,
he's
6.
the laundry police.
He was so terrible where it was actually like he's either
we were predicting it.
He's either gonna push him and it's gonna be a penalty, or he's just gonna get toasted every single play. I actually hadn't seen anything like that in my life, where it was just like there was a stretch where it was like 6 out of 7 plays they just kept going to him, and it was the same outcome every time.
Yep. Unfortunately, the D line is not putting enough consistent pressure on them. Linebackers are missing a lot of plays.
Yeah, that's okay. Look,
who's the kicker? Seabird or something?
Austin Seabird, yeah, or Cybear. People are calling for his head. Sign Rodrigo Blankenship. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, sign Rodrigo. You called that. That was a good call.
This is what we want. Improvement, not showcased through wins. That's what we're getting. The league knows the Lions are legit. Smart NFL people are saying the Lions are actually pretty good.
Yep.
And they covered the spread again. Lions are always good against the spread. So that's all I've got on that.
That's it. I don't have any more line stock.
Okay. NFL questions. You propose your questions, and let's educate each other.
Again, this is, I think, an obvious yes, but is Hurst an MVP candidate?
Who? No, actually, Hurst?
Hurts?
Dude, you've got to know it's Jalen Hurts by now.
Hurts, yeah.
Hayden Hurst is some random tight end. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
He's just correcting because he spelled Hurst.
Hurts.
Okay.
An MVP candidate? The answer is yes, but how far up is he on the list?
I would go right now, season 9 today, technically speaking, he is 1. Because they're undefeated.
Yeah, I've got Lamar 1.
Yeah, I'm high on, I'm a big Lamar guy.
What's that?
I'm a big Lamar guy. Yeah. Look, it's week 3. I'm not in week 4. I'm gonna probably, if the Ravens win and the Eagles lose, I'm probably gonna say Lamar. Or if the Bills win, then they're up to 3-1. Then I'm gonna say Allen. Like, it's just a record thing at this point. Yep. A question to add on to that: who do you buy into more, the 3-0 Dolphins or the 3-0 Eagles?
Eagles.
I think I agree, especially because the Dolphins have to play Buffalo again.
Yeah.
And that Philly will win that division, and the Dolphins won't.
And that's relevant because Philly is playing a poopy division.
Are we still high on Buffalo at 2-1? Are they still?
Yes, they have moved it down a little bit because they've had some defensive injuries. Like tied for the year is a big deal, right? Buffalo's defense the first week of the season was on fire. Now they're not as good.
Front seven was dominant against the Rams.
Dominant.
So I agree. I'm still high on Buffalo. Well, look, like they're playing in crazy humidity in Miami. Like, it's fine. Stephon Diggs was like gassed. Whatever. Let's have this one. Broncos 2-1. Is the offense going to be that bad? Are they just going to, like, is this what they are?
Well, it's one of my questions. Is Russell Wilson in the offense done? He's done being a top 5 quarterback or top 6 quarterback. He's probably somewhere in the 10, 12, 13 range.
It's tough with all these young guys just being awesome.
I just don't think Russell and Denver have it. They should on paper, but again, games aren't played on paper.
I was thinking about this a lot. Like, it's just really interesting, the Denver thing. I think it's it's kind of a perfect storm. It's a combination of a few things, which is and look, Broncos are 2-1.
Yeah,
but it's a combination.
So Chicago.
So I'm going to talk about that. This is a combination of a few things. It's a combination of a brand new head coach who's been awful.
Who's poop?
Like, that's just, and he's learning. So that thing number 1, it's a new head coach with a new scheme. To add on to that, thing number 2 is it is a new quarterback in a new scheme that he's been in the same scheme in for 11 years in Seattle. Thing number 3 is that quarterback has taken a significant step back than the step back he took last year.
Yes.
It's all 3 of those things. I was working, I'm like, how is this happening? Is all of this happening? And I think they're going to be okay. They're probably going to finish 3rd in that division. I think the Chargers are 1-2, and they lost Slater for the year, right? You saw that.
Yep.
It was one of the better left tackles in football. I think the Broncos are going to be okay. But
And part of it is,
man,
the
they look
AFC has dropped a bit. Like the top guys have all dropped a little bit.
bad. Okay, go ahead. What do you got?
Is Jacksonville for real?
Thank you. I have that one. They're going to win their division. The AFC South, I think they win that.
They might.
I don't think they're the favorite right now. If I was like Tennessee, I don't like Tennessee. I think they're going to be okay. I don't. The Colts, I was actually relatively high on. Matt Ryan looks bad.
Yeah. This shows, but these older quarterbacks like Ryan and Russell that are not that old, that have really taken a step back, it shows, hey, Rodgers is still performing well at his age, and Brady is not from our planet. All those alfalfa smoothies have obviously made him an alien.
Might be from our planet, but he might have been like created, like he might have been modified on Earth. Like he might be Earth-born, but they just modified him with like robot stuff here.
Yep.
But yeah, he's not
like Steve Austin, the Bionic Man.
Similar.
Very similar.
RoboCop, kind of in that realm.
Yep. The $6 million man. Today is about 11 billion.
Okay. Jags thing, they're fun to watch, and I think this kind of shows that Urban Meyer is one of the worst head coaches in recent NFL history.
True that.
Like, from a on-the-field standpoint, off-the-field standpoint, Lawrence looks great. Lawrence looks really good, like the guy we thought he was.
Yep.
I am rooting for Jacksonville, though, for sure. I'm definitely, especially in that division, I don't want to see Tennessee be the... no, I don't want to see them lose again.
A good seed and then lose.
I'd much rather see Jacksonville lose.
Okay. Who is Houston going to take with the number 1 overall pick?
Houston? Planet Houston?
Yes.
Bryce Young?
CJ Stroud is my guess.
Okay.
They're not going to pick Anderson, the defensive line from Alabama.
No, I like Davey Mills.
Davey Mills, but he's not a starter. He's
not a starter. You're right.
He's Bubby Brister.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for the Houston one. Is interesting. Let's transition that to just Fields and the Bears, another bad team.
Okay, I've got that too.
Okay, so the Bears are 2-1.
So we didn't do this ahead of time, but obviously
I can't. That's why I said 8 because I knew we were gonna a little crossover events.
Fair enough.
Here.
Yep.
Justin Fields. I'm gonna read you his stats. Okay. Ready? 23 for 45.
Is this for the year?
I'm just gonna read them.
Okay.
23 for 45, 297 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 picks, QBR of 23.0. That is for 3 games. That's not...
Yep, that's for the year.
So 297 yards through 3 games. Now, he can run a bit. I saw a great stat. You got to look at the receiving leaders. Stephon Diggs has like 350 receiving yards. Justin Fields has 297 passing yards. So the stat was basically the top 5 receiving leaders. And it's, Waddle, Hill, Diggs, another dude. And 5th is just the entire Chicago Bears because that's where they slot in receiving yards. Thoughts on Fields? What do you think?
So they have 3 options. They could bench him, which they're not going to do. They can keep this current kind of backyard football that is just terrible, or they can try and simplify the offense, have the receivers just do quick little stop, short routes and get some conservative ball control just to get some complete passes. I guess they go for the conservative look because this open look is terrible.
It's terrible. The issue is their number 1 receiver is Darnell Mooney, who's actually like a number 2 or number 3 receiver.
But he's pretty good.
He's a deep threat guy.
Yeah.
Which makes it a little tough here.
Well, he doesn't have any time to throw.
And I don't want to completely attack Fields. I had a good conversation with Evan about this. And he said he probably has the worst roster in football. And I think he's right. If you look head to toe rosters in the NFL, Houston has an awful roster.
Houston does.
I think Chicago
does.
Seattle's got some guys still.
Yep.
So I think Chicago's the worst team in football. Maybe have the worst O-line. They maybe the worst weapons. I don't want to completely blame Fields, but there's some decisions where it's you overthrew him by about 16 yards and it was interception.
So if the Bears are in the top 2 or 3 guys, do they pick another quarterback?
I don't know because they like their defense, right? They if Will Anderson's there, they like getting their Khalil Max and over.
Or they drop down because whatever. I don't care. The people who have Will Anderson as the number 1 or number 2 overall pick. There's no way 2 or 3 quarterbacks are going to be picked
Stroud,
first
Young.
before anybody else.
Okay.
Yeah, Stroud, Young, and then they're going to have Levi and Richardson and those guys in the top 5.
So the Raiders, they went all in to be the best 0-3 team in NFL history.
Yeah, they're poopy.
Do you remember my take in the offseason? Because it was one of my... I'm really proud of this one.
I don't remember the specifics.
So the specific take was, I think the Raiders clean house. I think they should sell everything. I think you sell Derek Carr for 3 first because this is right when Russell Wilson went to Denver. And if you look at that division, the best case scenario is they win 6 games and are last in the division with this team, even with the Adams trade. So I said they just completely sell, clean house in a few years.
Yeah, their ceiling was probably 8 wins. If things go perfect.
So I was saying, just hope that, Russell Wilson in 3 or 4 years, they filter out, kind of go with the OKC Thunder route, just get picks, get a bunch of picks, sell everybody. And that's not what they did. They went all in to get last in their division. So Raiders should have listened to me. That's what happened when your owner's a creep.
Yep.
This is a good one. Kenny Pickett. How soon until he starts in Pittsburgh?
Ooh, boy. It's always one. Like, I'd like to know if you told me the bye week.
I'll give you the... Okay, I have that prepared.
Nice.
Let's
the
go.
bye week.
They're currently 1-2. So next week they play the Jets at home. They're not going to go to them yet. I don't think.
I agree.
Then they go to Buffalo. Then they're home versus the Bucks. Then they're at Miami. Then they're at Philly. Then they're bye week. Then they're home versus the Saints.
So I don't think they can wait until after their bye week. That's a brutal stretch.
It's a really hard stretch.
Yeah, I think probably like they'll bring in Pickett to relieve a couple of times in those games.
Yeah.
And maybe start like the Miami game.
Miami isn't an awful place to play. I don't want to start him at Philly.
No, he's going to
at Buffalo. Like, it's just a brutal way. I'm a big fan of getting your QB to play at home for their debut.
Yep.
But it's a really tough, it's a rough stretch there. And if they wait until the Saints, they're going to be 2-7 or something, right? So, interesting there. And Trubisky is the worst quarterback in football.
Oh, it's terrible.
Last one. Do you have any more?
I have one. It's more of a comment.
I have a comment too. What
yes.
is? Okay.
Butt punt. No way!
I actually had a... What is funnier, butt punt or running out of the end zone? What is the better safety?
Oh, man. That's a great one. I would say the butt punt is funnier, but the Orlovsky thing makes it in that he's finally free. I'm giving it the run in the safety.
So I was watching the Niners game live. Just an awful display of football.
When was this? Was this Monday night?
This was Sunday night. And
Sunday
it was
night.
11-10 final. And
did you text me that? Or?
I think I texted you right when it happened because it was awesome. And I was really excited. I had Denver covering the +1.5 spread. So I am all in on this punt fest. Like, I'm all in. And I see Jimmy G go out of the end zone. And I'm screaming, like, out of the end zone, like, safety. I go right to Twitter. First thing is Orlovsky tweeting, like, yeah, I'm finally free. And then everyone's like, no, Dan, we're never letting you go. Like, this is... Like, if I was a fan, I think I would rather the butt punt happen. Because that's just so, like, fluky. Whereas, like, if I was watching... If I was a Niners fan and I saw Jimmy G running there, I would say, like, let's wheel Trey Lance back on the field.
Yeah.
And I was kind of not high on Jimmy G. I thought they were going to be okay.
He was pretty poop.
He looked awful. I think they're still going to be fine. But all-time
San Francisco is stacked.
Best safety day in NFL history. You're going to have a butt punt and then run out back the end zone?
Yeah.
All-time
Those are
safety.
two, one of the greatest safety days of all time.
All right. Good job, football.
Okay, that was good.
Okay.
Couple of shout outs here. Shout out to the Raptors for going after Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Did you hear that today?
It's a fun headline.
So it is a good headline. Urban Paul and our Toronto supporters.
Wait, do you just have a bunch of NBA storylines? Because I think that's a segment next episode.
No.
Okay.
This is just the one.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Good job.
I just wanted to shout out to my boys in the 6. Go get Shea. He'd be a good get.
That'd be awesome. That
really would be funny.
That'd be cool.
Then when you come down and the Raptors are going to be favored over the Pistons, and we're going to watch the game, and the Pistons are going to smoke the Raptors. That'd be good. Beaver and Paul, last time they came down, I think it happened.
Yeah, I'm not going to bet on, again, I'm not going to bet on the Pistons.
Pistons aren't going to win a lot of games
Maybe to
this
cover
year,
the spread.
But they'll win some games that they should not, and they'll lose a bunch of games. I have one more shout out that I got to do. I probably have a couple more, but the one right now. Hey, municipal election is coming up.
Yeah.
We know a couple fellas.
Yeah.
Drew Dilkens.
Yeah. Just
vote for him. He is the guy. Educate yourself. I was knocking on some doors, talking to people, and a couple of folks weren't sure. And I said, listen, I'm an old guy, so I'm allowed to tell you my opinion. Educate yourself. Read the facts. Don't read all the crap on Facebook or on Twitter. Read real stuff.
Okay. Just go get him, boss.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for you.
Go get
I got you. Go get him.
You the man. Little shout out to our man, Lyndon, too.
That's my dog. That's my dog.
Lyndon's our dog.
Yeah. Talked to him the other day.
How do you not vote for Lyndon after meeting him?
Yeah, if you're in Aberg,
man,
you're hammering vote.
If you're in Aberg, Lyndon is your future.
I told him I was going to just move to Amherst just to get my vote in for him. He's that good of a dude. Do you have any other political shout-outs here?
No.
Okay, me in 4 years.
Okay.
No, we're not announcing.
No,
we're not. We're just joking.
No. Okay, Boston Celtics. So we really talked about how they were going to implode. We're like, there's no way this, like, everybody's talking about this is the best core for the next 3 or 4 years. They got so many good young guys.
Cleveland.
And we're like, no, Marcus Smart, like, he's going to lose it. Or Jaylen Brown is going to lose it. Or Tatum's not a strong leader. Like, we were talking about things. Yeah. Horford's going to take a step back because he's old.
Yeah, he's 70.
We didn't think it was going to be their coach.
So,
holy crap.
Way to set that up. Good job.
Thank you.
First, there's not a lot of facts out there, and it's a fair amount of speculation. Just wanted that, like, I want the record. I want the lady on the typewriter. I wanted her to get that, okay?
Okay.
Do you know how that works?
Legal
like,
disclaimer.
Yeah, like in She-Hulk. Okay, which sucks.
It could have been...
Did you watch last episode?
I don't think so.
The wedding episode?
No.
Oh my gosh, just don't. It's just like, they spend a whole episode at a wedding, and it's
Is
a
there a
superhero.
fight?
Like a terrible one. It's a superhero show that sucks. Anyways, here's the headline per ESPN and Woj. Boston Celtics coach Ime Udoka is facing a suspension for the entire 2022-2023 season for his role in a consensual relationship with a female staff member, sources tell ESPN. That was what first came out, random Wednesday at 11 p.m. Then, it kind of came out that, this is verbatim. Ime Udoka allegedly made unwanted comments toward a female staffer, which prompted an internal investigation. Some Celtics staffers became aware of Udoka's relationship with the woman in July, but thought it was consensual, per Shams, who's the other big guy. Initial thoughts to reading that, and then I'll get some quotes.
So this is another example of a male in a position of a power that is just acting like an idiot. Don't do that.
Let him, you tell him. Ime, come on, man.
Come on, you need to be better.
Yeah,
dudes, don't be asses.
Yeah, well, okay, so, again, the initial headline was it was consensual. And then it was like, well, he's getting suspended a year. Was it consensual? And now it's kind of not known, but it's everyone is under the perception that it was not consensual and he did something worse than what she did, right? Because we haven't heard her name or we don't know anything.
I read something about, like, she was somehow responsible for some planning and some travel, and she actually set up some planning and travel for Udoka's fiance.
That's one of the rumors. One of the rumors is she's like does travel planning and booking for the team, and she like that's not. I don't think that's per Woj or Shams. I don't think that's a legit one. I think that's just kind of maybe throwing something at a wall. Here's kind of my takeaway from this. This is serious enough to suspend him, to earn a random announcement on a Wednesday at 11 p.m. A team suspension, not a league thing. Matt Barnes, Richard Jefferson. So I'm just gonna you should look up. People should look up Matt Barnes' a minute and a half video talking about this. Basically, he put out a thing backing up Udoka, then took it down and said, the situation in Boston is deep, it's messy, it's 100 times uglier than any of us thought.
This is Barnes.
This is Matt Barnes. Then he's
who's kind of a punk.
Yeah, and then he's like, thoughts and prayers to everyone involved. This is just an awful. And then and everyone's like, if Matt Barnes is saying that, then
so this is bad.
Okay, so
I mean, it was bad, but this is like terrible. Go to court bad.
Well, that's what the Matt Barnes statement. You gotta watch the video. Like he doesn't look distraught, but he's clearly
upset,
very upset by this.
Man.
And if Matt Barnes is a lunatic. If he's upset by this, then it's real. So here's my thing. This is just kind of some assuming, some kind of putting stuff together. The Celtics discovered this in July. That's public. That is a fact. We know that. They thought it was consensual at the time. I think that's a fact. They brought it to a law firm. That is also true. This is kind of where I'm putting pieces together. During the investigation, I think they found something that was like, hey, this might not be 100% consensual. And they kept it under wraps because they wanted to determine this before anything came out. Udoka and his camp kind of got hold somehow that the law firm and the study and the investigation knows that it wasn't consensual. And Ime Udoka's camp leaked this. I think that's the only possibility. Udoka's camp leaked the consensual story. So the first headline, it said, involved in a consensual relationship. Because why would Boston has nothing to gain from leaking this? The female staffer has nothing to gain from leaking this. Udoka doesn't have much to gain, but it's better for him to read consensual right away and then it to be taken back. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I think he leaked this to Woj and Shams, and then Boston was like kind of screwed, and then they're scrambling.
Oh, did you make that theory up yourself, or did you
read about it? I made it up. I don't think
that's a solid theory.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So again, that's not totally confirmed. I think Udoka leaked this. Boston scrambled. Had to put the suspension
people.
Up. Udoka's camp.
Yep.
So that's my bit. You go ahead, and then I'll read some quotes here.
Like I'm just gonna talk about some of the bad dudes present day.
Can we finish with Udoka before we do that?
Yes.
Okay.
But you telling me more of this, like, puts Udoka higher on the list of bad dudes.
Again, he's nowhere near what Sarver did, for as far as we know. Like the Suns guy, Suns dude was racist and sexist to like everybody, everyone. Like I think he was just an awful dude.
Yep.
Again, we don't know what Udoka did, right? If Udoka beat her, that's a different conversation. We know nothing. We know very little. So it's tough to compare him to these other guys.
Yep.
That's just, I just wanted that out there.
Fair enough. You finished your points.
Quotes, Media Day. Next episode, we're going to talk about Media Day. Not necessarily Media Day, but like storylines going into the NBA season. Do you know how Jason Tatum found out about this?
Twitter?
Yeah, Twitter. Not a good look when your superstar fraud MVP guy.
Yeah, somebody needs to freaking call him.
Somebody. Brad Stevens, owner
So
of
if you're Jason Tatum, do you check Twitter before you check your text messages or your cell phone?
No. Because his agent would.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you got to reach out to him.
So Tatum finding out through Twitter, I don't love that. Jaylen Brown, really interesting quote. Initial reactions, we were all shocked what was going on, a little confused, but a lot of the information wasn't being shared with us or members of the team, so you can't really comment on it. That's what you say, I think.
That's actually a good comment. Does it say anything about teaching him how to dribble or no?
No,
not that comment?
No comments about Jaylen Brown learning how to dribble. Now, this is the one that is just a bonehead. Don't look yet. Bonehead quote from guess who? Marcus Fraud DPOY Smart.
Oh.
Ready? This is his quote when asked about it.
Not a rocket scientist.
This is his quote. I actually didn't believe it. I had to confirm. Nobody died. I still love Ime as a person and as a coach. He led us to the finals. This is it. It's just something unfortunate has happened to him. Okay. So again, we don't know much. Marcus Smart seems to imply that he knows something that either Brown and Tatum don't know.
Implode.
I'm just speculating.
The Boston Celtics should be called the Boston Imploders.
So if I just read this quote, then I would think that Udoka didn't do anything terrible because Smart's saying he loves him.
Jaywalked and somebody got a ticket.
He says Ime loves him. He says, I love Ime as a person.
Ooh,
and then he says nobody died, trying to downplay the situation. Then he says something unfortunate happened to him. Doesn't sound like the woman beat him. Like that doesn't sound like that. It sounds like, if anything, Ime did something worse. So he did the unfortunate thing. That quote is one that just stirs everything up and is not good when we know so little.
Okay.
I think that's all I have. This affects basketball directly, which is why I'm very interested in theorizing about this.
Yep.
This affects Giannis winning another ring. This affects Jimmy trying to get to the finals. Like, this is a big deal for the NBA and the Eastern Conference.
Guys, be better. Really, be better, please. So this puts, like, you talk about bad dudes, present day. Udoka's up there with, like, Ruggs and Carver.
I don't want to compare.
He didn't kill, but
Ruggs murdered somebody.
Yeah, but Ruggs is still first here. But
he's your first overall. He's first overall draft pick. He's
for bad guy.
Okay.
I had Carver second, but now Udoka's like have to be in the discussion for second.
I'm not gonna put Udoka in my power ranking of NBA villains until it's confirmed.
Find out what happened. Anyway, this is a very early 2023 NBA draft. No, this is 2024 NBA draft. This is how far ahead it is. What? Ruggs is one. Bad guys. Like, this is how far, like, we don't have a lot of facts. Bad. And then other bad dudes, but just because they're asses, not because they've done terrible things. Aaron Rodgers, Daniel Snyder, Novak Djokovic.
Okay. Yeah, don't really understand.
Bad dudes.
Not sure why we're bringing up a couple guys that didn't get vaccinated.
Just because they're bad.
Udoka got suspended for a year.
Because they lied and they're bad.
Okay, but that's a different conversation than...
I know,
Udoka suspended for... Tell me when Rodgers does... I don't want to say I hope Rodgers does this. I didn't say that.
I hope Rodgers gets suspended for a year for doing something stupid, team violation of taking drugs or something.
For taking Percocets in games. Yeah, we can say that.
What's the stuff that he like drinks and they're making fun of it?
I have no idea. Probably not good for us to drink.
No,
probably not water.
Some weird stuff. Look it up. It was the first game of the season. Okay. They did some celebration.
I have no idea. The Udoka, look, like in a week, everything we said might be confirmed. It might be rejected. We have no idea. I don't think it's going to be like he's not going to suddenly be hired back. It's either going to be bad or terrible, bad worse. So we won't predict what's going to happen. What's going to happen with the pain. We won't predict what's going to happen with the details of this, but we can predict what does the next 2 years look like for Boston and who's their head coach for the next 3 years. What do you think?
Oof. So, repeat the questions again, please.
Next 3 years, who's coaching Boston? What's happening? I don't need to know the specifics of the Udoka thing. I just need to know who is...
Not Udoka and not their current guy.
Who's coaching them all year this current year? Current dude?
Current dude.
Who's
done some bad stuff, too.
Yeah. Look up his resume, like his coaching resume.
He coached like a Catholic boys team. And
respectfully, he coached at St. Clair College, I think.
Yeah.
With all due respect.
There's some players at St. Clair College.
Yeah, and he only coached there for like half a season, and it was an intern coach. Like he just
The short dude that you used to play volleyball with who's sick.
Rhodey's my guy.
Yeah.
And Tutu's there. They got some ballers.
Yeah. Tutu's there too?
Yeah.
We got to go watch them.
We will. I'm an honorary St. Clair Saint, so I will
Just because
watch.
you're loud. Good fan.
Yeah, thanks.
In my day, I was a good fan. Kid's got some potential.
Respect. Shout out Colin and the Holy Name senior team, but we won't talk about them.
No, not today.
No.
Next week.
Maybe next week. Okay, what else do you have here?
I got a couple other things.
Yeah.
Fit check. We got to just check out your fit check here because we got some good stuff back there.
How do you know what fit check is? I didn't teach you that.
You did.
I did?
Yeah, you talked to me last week.
Oh, the Eli Manning fit check.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So we each doing a fit check?
Yeah, but a fit check, you have to do it for the other guy, do you not?
Yeah, okay. So you want to give me a fit check?
So fit check, this is a sweet jacket.
What if
because
the
it's
people
mine.
are listening? You have to.
Okay, Isaac has like a burgundy Oliver Gray sports jacket on that is sweet. Very, very nice. Carmen gets the shout out for that. And a motorcade shirt. And a good Pistons hat that I think was free.
Well,
or is this a Staples thing?
We won't. It was good. It's a good hat.
No, but you want it for something.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Okay, so my fit check. You got to tell the fans.
So the fans. So Tal is wearing, I think, an orange shirt.
Yeah, orange. You know why?
Is it Orange Lives Matter? Like, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, good job then.
Yeah, good. Very. And a jacket.
I'm trying to do this for you, dude.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Then he has a Play for a Cure blue jacket.
Yep.
With a collar.
Yep.
Then he has another a brown suit jacket.
Yep.
So if you're struggling with the colors, it's an orange shirt, a blue jacket, then a brown blazer.
Yep.
Then it's a red and yellow Indiana Hoosiers hat that I got on a Jimmy Chitwood hat, which is an all-time hat.
It's not. Is it Indiana Hoosiers?
Well, yeah, it's a Jimmy Chitwood on it.
Oh yes,
you
it
know
is the
that, bro.
Hoosiers. Yeah.
So we're working with. So for me, I have red, blue, and black are my three colors, and it looks respectfully good. Tal has a red and yellow hat, a orange shirt, a blue jacket, and a brown suit jacket.
Yeah, but you know what? If you flip the jacket inside out, there's some nice blue and orange that matches the other inappropriately matched blue and orange.
It's an all-time. Actually, I'm gonna take a picture of you after this, just because that's an all-time look.
It's a good look. I should go take a nap for sure. That'd be trending on Team Town Nation.
Yeah, that's not how either of those two phrases were trending or Team Town Nation.
Yep, Team Town Nation's always trending.
Okay.
This Sunday we got a good day coming up. So because we bought some tickets last year for the Pistons, Isaac got the email right away. Hey, open practice. So he scored 4 ticks. Mm-hmm. So right now it's the two of us. I think Big Al was going to come, but he might be wavering.
Uh-huh.
So it's the two of us and
Dale, and we might get a 4th.
Dale? Okay.
Yeah, so
We're going to parlay that.
Good use parlay.
Thank you.
And we're going to go catch Geno Smith and the Seahawks in town versus the Lions. We might scalp.
DK and Okuda. We're just going to scalp like right before.
Okay. All right. Like NFL tickets are more expensive than $8 Tiger tickets. Just remember that.
Okay.
Respectfully. Okay, yeah, it's gonna be fun. Open practice. It's general admission, so we're gonna go for doors open and see. I talked to a buddy who went last year, and they had it at Chrysler where Michigan plays, and he basically said it's first come first serve. Get there early, you can get first row, courtside, whatever, right? So not courtside.
So let's not dress like punks. Actually,
I didn't plan on dressing. No, I was probably gonna wear my new TLK jersey.
that's a good jersey.
Yeah. Okay, Isaac.
Over top of a Lions jersey.
I haven't. I think I might.
Yeah.
Okay, that's gonna
parlay.
Yeah, that's parlay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isaac's ice cold pick. Speaking of parlay, I didn't tell the people.
So you tell them after the fact?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good for them to bet.
But don't, because last time I told them it didn't hit.
Okay, go ahead, tell them.
Okay, I did spreads last week. I did 4 legs. I had the Lions +6. I don't want to bet on the Lions, but 6 was a really juicy number for a game I was buying into. They covered. Then I had Broncos +1.5. That was a sweater, an 11-10 punt fest. But shout out Jimmy G for stepping out of the end zone. Cash that. Bengals -6 on the road. -6 road. Big spread for on the road. Jets suck. Joe Flacco threw it 70 times. I was rolling for Joe Burrow. Bengals came through. I had the Texans +3 who were at Chicago. That game finished 23-20 Chicago, so it was a push. So that was voided. So it just doesn't affect my bet.
Got it.
So it was the 3 legs, $10 to turn into $76.
It's pretty solid.
That's great. That's high stakes. And if Houston covered, it would have been like close to $200.
Nice.
So good job covering the spreads, boys. And that was Isaac's ice cold picks from last week.
Okay, great episode. We're at 45-minute marks. We should probably stop talking.
Great episode. Good job, Tal.
Shout out Team Town Nation.
Good job.
Good job, Big Ike.
Yeah, good job,
And
everybody.
we'll talk to you next week.
Good job, listeners.